Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join three Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy. Today, Cousin Gina is here with me, and we are going to be talking about the McBee family dynasty. And Cousin Gina is going to start us off with a little history lesson.
Thanks, Wendy. I started watching this show last year when it was on USA. And I was telling Wendy, I said, Wendy, you got to watch this show. It's crazy. The reason I started watching it was I watched a show called Joe Millionaire. And when I saw the advertisements for the McBee Dynasty, I'm like, wait, that's the guy from Joe Millionaire. Joe Millionaire were two guys. One was a millionaire and one wasn't. And it was a dating game and blah, blah, blah. And Steve wound up with Calla. That's where he met her. So she left Dallas and moved to Gallatin, Missouri to, see about a relationship. But the other guy on that Joe Millionaire show, he was a hottie. And he wasn't poor. He had a construction company, but it was a great show. If you get a chance to watch it, it's called Joe Millionaire, the second season. And anyway, so that's how this whole show started, because as a lot of dating shows, they go back to their homes to see how the family likes the person that they've chosen. I guess they do that on The Bachelor and stuff. I don't watch those shows. But so that's also how people saw the reality world, the rest of the McBee dynasty. So flash forward, they get their own show. And while the first season is showing on USA, the father, which had a huge part of the show, was arrested, as you see in this season. And he was arrested. It was for, how farmers can get subsidies? I think it had something to do with falsifying records for that, but you have to look it up. I'm not positive.
Actually, so what he pled guilty to in November 2024, he pleaded guilty to one count of federal crop insurance fraud, thereby admitting that he engaged in fraudulent activity from 2018 to 2020 that caused an economic loss to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, according to the statement from the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Western District of Missouri. So he is facing 30 years in federal prison without parole and has to pay back the government more than $3 million. Stephen's sentencing is currently scheduled for September 9th, 2025.
It was scheduled for July, and for some reason they got it pushed if it had anything to do with the show. So you'll see how they're kind of like editing around the father.
Well, he's not on it at all. I mean,
well, he was.
I know in the first season he was.
Yeah.
I know, but
in this season, because I heard, I don't know if it was a podcast or Watch What Happens Live, they were talking about, one brother said to Steve, do you think they're going to show, well, we did go to Memphis, and he says, yeah, but we don't know if they're going to show that or not, meaning the father was there. So they did some quick editing, and they got the mother in some scenes. The mother's a good addition.
I love the mother.
Now, what you have to know, and I think it came out in the last episode, was that Galina, the woman who runs the business, is the woman who broke up the marriage of Steve and his wife.
Yes.
And I think the wife said they were sleeping together for many years.
Yes.
So a lot of that came out in the last episode.
Yeah.
But that's just a little history of the show. So it had 1 year on USA Network last year, and Bravo wisely picked it up. I guess they're all owned by the same big company.
I mean, they could all be under the NBC Universal umbrella. Yeah. So that's very possible. So Cousin Gina told me about it. A couple of our listeners,
like every week, I kept bugging you. You got to watch it. You got to watch it.
A couple of our listeners said, you got to watch it. It's on Peacock. So I finally, a couple weeks ago, I went on Peacock and I watched the whole first season. And after like the first episode, I was hooked. I think while I was watching it, I listened to a podcast from Heather McDonald where Galina was on. So first of all those, they're so handsome. all those McBee boys are handsome men. No?
No,
Okay.
I only Jesse in my book.
Only Jesse. You don't think Steven is?
No, not one
No.
bit. The father?
No, the father's Steve.
No, both Steves. Both Steves.
So they call the father Steve and the son is called Steven on the show. Like that's how, even in their life, Galina said the father's Steve and the son is Steven. So anyway, I thought they're all good looking men. And I see cowboys in the Midwest and they have 40,000 acres. And I was like, oh,
You
what?
know why this show hit so good?
Why?
Yellow.
Yellowstone. I definitely loved Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm like, I would like to learn about a little bit about farming and, cattle in the Midwest. So, I start watching it. But then when, I hear the whole story about Galina, how she came from Russia and she came over on a fiance visa and she was married and she was living in Florida and her husband moved to Missouri and then she wound up getting a divorce. She had a daughter with him. She wound up getting a divorce and then she was a single mom. And then she started dating Steve McBee. And, I didn't know this while I was watching it. I found it out on the Heather McDonald podcast. She started dating him and then she became involved in the company. I mean, she's a 10% owner of the company. So again,
I'm curious how that happened. You don't give 10% of your company away to anybody, even your most valuable employee.
I know.
That's
I mean,
huge. Ten
I
percent's
mean,
a lot.
it is a lot. And especially when, we meet Tessa, who I absolutely love, who's been there for how many years, who's like the mom to the,
Family.
yeah, she's like family. Does she have an ownership in that company? And if she doesn't, I'm sure she's pissed because she's been there forever.
I think it had some I think she said, I'm leaving. Galina maybe said, I'm leaving if you don't. But
I don't
can you
know.
imagine his wife? Not only did Galina break up my marriage, but you're giving her 10% of the company? I would have gone batshit crazy. You would have read about me in the newspaper. You think
Yeah.
Galina's crazy what she does to those cars?
Well, Galina is crazy. She is crazy. She is crazy. Get that straight. I would say I think that Christy is a class act. His ex-wife, their mom is a class act.
Yes,
Galina
she
is
is.
crazy.
I could not. I give Christy a lot of credit because I would have taken a baseball bat and beaten the shit out of everything Galina owned.
Yeah.
Break up your
So
marriage.
I know. I mean, again, like when I started watching it, you didn't know that. They didn't let you know that on the show, right? Because we didn't see Christy the first season.
No, they kind of referred to her like the other brother, because there is
Yeah,
a fourth
yes,
brother.
Braden, who's younger. And I found
Yeah.
out why Braden, we don't see him that much because he didn't really grow up on the farm. So
No.
they've had the
Well,
farm.
no, his parents only got separated in 2022. But the mother did not live on the farm because just like Jesse and his wife, all of the work is in Kansas City, which is not commutable from Gallatin. You have to look at
Correct.
it on a map, it's understandable. So the
Yes,
mother, and she said it in this last episode, was only there on the weekends, and the youngest son was with her.
correct. Correct. So that's why we don't see him as much because he wasn't as involved. I think now that he's older and obviously there's a TV show, he's, going to become more involved.
But I'm surprised we haven't seen more of him yet, but I think we will.
Yeah, I think we will too.
Yeah.
So this whole story, how again, she's a 10% owner and she's the CFO, which is the purse strings of the business, right? And
And season 1, she was helping them save the company because they needed to get these investors. What are those people called?
angel investors.
Yeah. She needed to get angel investors because they had to $6 million nut. And at the end of season 1, you'll see that they didn't get it.
Well, and again, I think the angel investors were because they decided to diversify and open up the car wash coffee shop, the car wash coffee thing. Now, listen, car washes, they're notoriously a cash business. It's
Mhm.
notoriously a way to, I don't want to say this, but allegedly launder money. Like that's what car washes do. I just think it's very interesting now that I'm looking at this whole thing and I'm up to date now and just what I've seen and what I've read. I think that Galina was the mastermind behind this whole thing, why he's going to jail. I do. I think she was the mastermind. Listen, I think that,
You
you
think
know,
she's the one that said we could save some money by lying on these papers?
who's the one filling out the papers? You think Steve was filling out the papers?
No, he's not smart enough.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
Who's the one who's like, "Oh, maybe we should open car washes." Why are you opening car washes?
okay, let
Why
me
are
tell you,
I mean,
I
go ahead.
heard Joe Rogan do a clip on this.
Oh, I'd love
TikTok,
to hear Joe Rogan. I'd love to.
I'm 99% sure it was Joe Rogan. And he said, those guys aren't farmers. He says, you don't understand. Farming is the smallest part of their business. They have car washes, coffee shops, they sell meat, they sell
Yes.
jerky, and they went
Yes.
on and on and
Yes.
on
Yes.
about all these other businesses. They said they are not farmers anymore.
Well, that is true. They do have all those things because I saw that as well. And as you see in the second season, Cole goes out and leases additional land for crops. And Steven is pissed off because he wants to get out of that business and focus on the cattle. Because with the cattle comes the beef and becomes, it's a better
Yeah,
product. It's a better
business
way to
model.
make money. It's a better, way to make money.
That seems scripted to me, though, that buying that farm.
No, they're leasing it. They're not buying it. They're leasing it. They were
Okay.
leasing it. So they they own themselves. I have conflicting information here from online. It's either 30,000 or 40,000 acres are theirs.
A lot of acres.
It's a lot of acres. I mean, it's a huge operation. But I'm telling you, I think we're going to find out Galina was the brains behind this whole thing. And that's why. And listen, Steve says in the
And
very beginning, when he's with her, he doesn't want her to move in. He doesn't want her to live there. He made it very clear that he didn't want a girlfriend. We see what happens
his
with Brooke.
words exactly were, if I was going to have a girlfriend, it would be you. And she heard, I'm your girlfriend.
Right.
This was last season, and she was all lovey huggy. He's so clear to her. And he has been from the beginning. I was married up until 2, 3 years ago. I want to play around.
Right. And I don't think he'll ever get married again. But it's interesting because the way she acts with Steve is so surprising to me because of where she comes from and what she's been through. Like I said, she's from Russia. Her father wanted all boys. She did not have an easy childhood. Like, she did not grow up easy. To get
No,
over to this country and to be running a company like this is really, she's self-educated. It's not like she went to college and learned how to do this stuff. She
no.
did this
She
all
told
on
you
her
she
own.
was a mail order bride
Yeah.
to the
It's
first husband.
she did this all on her own. And I was giving her a lot of credit. And I do still give her a lot of credit for that. But where she loses it for me is her bad choices with men and how she allows that to affect her in her day-to-day life, and the rage that she gets and the jealousy and the way
Well,
she.
look, he's sleeping. He moved her best friend in. She had
Yeah.
a best friend named Masha.
Yes, I know.
And
Crazy.
you don't bring a young, beautiful girl around your poondog boyfriend. But she did. And Masha was not a very good friend because she started sleeping with her best friend's boyfriend. And now, the first episode of this season, they show Masha moving into his ranch. And that's the whole storyline in itself. And I feel horrible for Galina. I don't know how she's putting up with this because
Well,
I
what
sure wouldn't.
she's not putting up with it. I mean, she's not with him
Well, she
anymore.
is in the way that she's going to work every day. But
Well,
you
that's a
could be
financial
right.
thing.
She
That's a
may have
financial
it.
thing. There's a reason she's showing up there every day. I'm telling you right now.
I didn't think about that. You really got me thinking.
Yeah, there's a reason she's showing up there every day. Because
So,
I'm telling you, she's the brains behind this. She's the one who brought the car washes in. It's funny because, I mean, I know it was on camera, but when she was talking to that investor, I was like, that investor is not investing in this. There's no way. This is not happening. Like, it looked clear as day to me. All that other stuff, they literally bet the farm. They over leveraged the farm for all those other businesses. They are $70 million in debt right now. $70 million
you're never
in
going to
debt.
get out of that. Never, not in those. You're not going to get out of it in those business. Maybe if it were in the oil industry or something like that. You don't have enough volume in car washes and coffee shops and jerky.
I don't know how many car washes they even have, to be
I
honest with
don't
you.
know, but I follow a lot of them on Instagram and they're always opening up new ones. But what I found really, like, how much of that storyline of the barbecue restaurant is fake? Like, could they really have screwed up 60,000 pounds of meat? Did you see that? Where he
I
said he
did see
trimmed?
that. I did see that. I mean, it just, watching that whole thing go down. I mean, even the fact that those are
It's
the 2 guys that,
embarrassing and it shows him as bad businessmen.
well, they're young. I mean, Steven's 30 now. Now he's 30 years old, right? To be running a
And
business
who's
like
and
this.
Cole's the oldest?
No, Steven's the oldest.
I thought
Steven's
Cole
the
was.
oldest.
Okay.
No, Steven, I think it's Steven, Jesse, then Cole, then Breeden.
All right. Jesse acts like he's a child.
I
And
think
his
Cole acts
teeth.
like
Jesse, where
Cole
did you get those teeth from?
I think Cole acts like he's a child. What are you talking about, Jesse?
Jesse's teeth.
What are you
They
talking
drive
about,
me.
Jesse?
You got to watch Jesse smile next time. His teeth are too big for his mouth. Now, Cole is responsible for. Is he the production guy or is that Jesse?
I think it said that Cole's operations. I think he said operations.
Okay.
So he's the one on out on the combines. He's the one, in the tractors, doing the
Hey,
fields.
and look at those tractors. You know what those things cost?
I can't
Oh
even
my
imagine.
God.
Crazy. But I'll tell you, I actually enjoyed watching that whole thing, the harvest and all that. I was like, that is the
I did
coolest
too.
thing ever. I want to go see that, like in person. I was like, and then it broke, and I was like, oh no, I want to see more. That's what
I
I want to
love
see.
that on Yellowstone too, was watching the ranching and the herding of the cattle. You know,
Yes.
it's so foreign to us being Jersey girls.
Yeah. We don't get this in Jersey. We don't get
And
any
we
of
don't
this in
want to see
Jersey.
about the car washes. We want to see about the farming.
Well, I want to see how the car washes are intertwined with this. And there is more to this story. I'm telling you this right now. And I'm telling you, the only reason we see Galina, I have the picture behind me. The only reason you see Galina in this picture and the reason she shows up every day is she's the brains behind this. And he's taking the fall for it because he has to, because it's in his name. But
If
she's the
not, his children or his ex-wife could have been affected.
Yeah, now I want to find out. I didn't look it up yet. I want to find out what Christy does because Christy still has money. I don't
Does
know
she
if she,
work for the company?
I don't think she does. I don't think she does. She has her own business that she runs because Steven said that his mom is a very good businesswoman. I think she does her own thing. And there's no way she works for the company because there's no way she would be working with Galina. And there's
No,
no
but
way
she might
Galina,
run one of the offshoots.
nope, no way Galina, no way she could have got in there. Galina could have got in there if Christy was there. There's no way. That's
Even
how
if
I think
Chris,
Galina got in. I think Galina got in because Christy has her own business and she's a successful business person in her own right.
but
Because
this
even
is all within the last 2 to 3 years. And how could Christy have allowed her ex-husband or her husband at the time to give her a percentage of the company?
she may not have known if she
But
didn't
don't the
own that.
boys have voting rights? I mean, I guess we don't know the structure.
We don't know their business structure. And I'm going to tell you this right now: those boys are not that. First of all, Steve is not that bright. The dad is
No.
not that bright, and he's another one. I mean, his mother kicked him out at 12 years old because a palm reader told her that her third child was going to be nothing but trouble and she went home and kicked him out. I mean, that's insane. That's crazy. That's craziness.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, like, I mean, that's some trauma. Like, that's what I'm saying. Him and Galina, the trauma that they went, their childhood trauma, that's what bonded them together. That's what bonded them together to begin with. And then Galina, she is the mastermind behind this whole thing. And she's the one who got them.
I never thought of that until today. So she could be setting him up, rightly so, because I tried to explain this one time. My husband and I were talking about friends. A guy had good friends of ours. The guy cheated on the wife. And I was trying to explain to my husband, yeah, you may not have think she loved him that much, but it's all about humility.
Mm,
Women don't want to be embarrassed.
that's true.
We don't want to be made to look like assholes. And I think that has a lot to do with this whole thing. He treated his ex-wife, like crap. She should have walked away with the bank. I don't know how she didn't.
Okay, so Christy is the president of Lantel Communications, which she told the Daily Dish during season 2 filming that she acquired after her divorce from Steven Sr.
Does it say what kind of company it is?
Well, it says Lantel.
Sounds like telecom. But she still could have retained a portion of the McBee dynasty
Yep, she sure could have.
unless she took a cash payment in lieu of. I think we're going to find out more about this as we move down the road.
Let's see. Fans are curious about what she does for a living and whether her net worth comes anywhere close to her ex-husband's, which was reportedly 10 million. No, no, it's not. Not when you're 70 million in debt. You cannot be
Yeah.
10 million. You can't have a 10 million net worth when you're 70 million in debt.
No, you may have 10 million in assets.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're not borrowed upon.
Right.
But if
Yeah.
the farm is 30,000 acres, I mean, that's a lot of wealth right there, but you've got to look at your debt. And like we were just talking about that equipment, I think they mentioned that they lease a lot of that equipment, that it doesn't make sense to buy it.
Well, I think that does make sense because, like you said, that equipment is crazy expensive. And I think the maintenance on it
Yeah.
is insane, right?
Especially a piece of equipment that you're only using during harvest or planting.
Right.
It's and farming, nobody makes millions of dollars in farming. If farming was a lucrative career, more people would be doing it.
I totally agree. I totally
Right
agree.
right now, we're blessed that our farmers stay farming through the good and the bad because they love it and it's in their blood. They don't do it for money.
So she has, since she's had this company, Lantel Communications, she brought on a partner that she trusts completely. They have the same work ethic. She spent the first 12 to 15 months digging themselves out, and now they've grown the business 3 times the size it was.
Good for her.
And that's since 2021 when
Good
she,
for
it was
her.
after she got divorced. So good for
So
her.
they got divorced in 2020, not 22?
2021. It said 2021.
They got divorced, okay.
Yeah, 2021.
And I guess that the youngest son at that time, he may have still been in high school. That may have been why he stayed with her.
Yeah, no, it definitely could have been. And like you said, she was in the city and he
Yeah.
was at the farm. And the city's an hour away because we see that when he's called out for the emergency to get the beef delivered, he's got an hour to get there. So it winds up being they're late on their first delivery.
And you can't live apart like what Allie and Jesse are doing. It doesn't work. My husband and I did that. I worked an hour from my home. So we got a condo at the beach. I mean, it was ocean view, so it wasn't hard to take.
Right.
But it was horrible. There were nights
Right.
when it snowed and all I wanted to do was be home with my husband and I was stuck at a condo. I couldn't,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, no, it's tough. I mean, the two brothers have daughters right now, so they've both had the babies. So
Wait,
season 2 we see that Cassie's pregnant, right? And we see that
right.
Jesse's getting married to Allie,
Yeah, but Allie's
Allie
not pregnant.
but she's had a baby. She's already had a
She
baby.
did?
Yep.
Because I see Steve online all the time with this little baby girl, but
Mhm.
that's Cole's baby, the
So
grandfather, Steve, the
they both
grandfather.
had they both
Good.
have babies.
Okay.
There's 2 babies. One's name is Summer and what's the other one's name? I don't know. But
If you're
they
going to
both
tell
have.
me Ocean, I'm going to fall off my
No,
chair.
it's not Ocean. But they're 2 little girls, and Christy is the proud mom of 2 granddaughters, right? The grandma of two granddaughters,
She
which
must be thrilled after having 4 boys, huh?
yes, exactly,
Now she's got
exactly.
her little girls. But when you see her ex-husband, he is so gaga in love with those little babies. He's
Yeah.
on all the time on Facebook. And I have to look to see now if it is 2 different children. But I think we're going to I don't know if what's Cole's girlfriend's name?
Cole's Casey and
Okay,
Jesse is Allie,
Allie.
right?
I don't
Is it
know.
Allie?
Did Cole and Casey ever get married? I don't think
They are not married. No.
okay. They're engaged though. We saw him ask her to marry him. No, we didn't. That was
No.
Jesse.
No, that was Jesse.
I love Jesse and Allie. They have to take care of that living situation and live in one house though. And you know what? Allie is a nurse practitioner. She could get a job anywhere. She can open up her own practice, but I know she's making more money working in the city, but she has to give that up to be with her man. And I'm sure she has now that she has a baby, because he cannot live in the city. His
No,
job is at the farm.
his job
But
is at the
she's
farm.
She's a nurse practitioner. She can write prescriptions. She can. My nephew is a nurse practitioner and has his own practice with 4 different locations in Monmouth County.
That's
Writes his own.
awesome.
Yeah, he has
That's
doctors
awesome.
working for him. And nurse practitioners can do that. A lot of money she can make, but you got to live closer to home, especially now with the baby.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see, I think we've seen the end of Calla. I don't know how much more they could.
Well, they're done. I mean, he was on Watch What Happens Live, and he said that
Yeah.
they're over. Listen, I don't know. People say that she had a bad upbringing too, but I don't know her story. And you know what? I don't care. I don't want to find
I
it out.
heard her say that her father and brother and sister were all in prison and her sister just died. But that doesn't matter. You know what? A lot of us have had that stuff and grow up to
She
be.
comes off as so entitled, like they owe her
Mhm.
to co-sign for her an apartment, and it's $2,500. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
listen, we live in Jersey. $2,500 for an apartment.
In
That's really not.
Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is for New Jersey. It's the same thing here. Get yourself a job.
And then did you see last season where she's talking about how Steven will write her a check for $10,000 or $25,000? So
Yes,
you know what? Any money that you were owed, you've got. She was
you're
on
not
the
owed
TV
money.
show.
Why
She
were
was
you
on
owed money? Yeah, you're
she was
not
on
owed money.
well, because she moved for him. But you were
What?
on the reality show with him. You got a salary for it. You made the decision to move, and you've gotten a lot of cash since you moved to Missouri. I
Yeah,
would not want to live in Gallatin, Missouri. Take a look where it is. That's the last place I would want to live.
but she knew that when she moved
I
out there. She
know.
knew where
And
she was
she was
moving.
from a big city, Dallas. Now, let me go back to this Joe Millionaire. The funny part about that show, both of the guys had wonderful, wonderful women that were in love with them, and you really thought that they were going to take them, but they
Huh?
both chose the one who was a little slut. I hate to use the word slut. That's not a good word. They used the two that weren't as family oriented. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the other guy had this one girl, she had a child, but she was just looking, she wasn't looking for the fast life. She just wanted a husband and, raise a family and have a garden and chickens. But they both of the guys didn't choose those girls. They chose the ones nobody expected them to, the girls with the big implants. That's what I'll say.
So you know what? You get what you get then, right?
And it's got to be 3 years ago since that was filmed.
Well, yeah, I would think so, right?
At least 3, if not 4. So her and Steve have been together a while, and every season they're breaking up left and right. And I think this is it. Now I sent you a copy. This girl has Steve in all of her videos. She's a country
Yeah,
singer, but you said that's AI?
it's AI. It's
Okay.
AI. AI's his face in. Yeah, it's not him.
Okay. All right. I don't pay that close of attention.
Yeah, let me just see how old Braden is. Braden is, does it say here?
Who's Braden, the youngest son?
The youngest son. Yeah, I want to see how old he is.
Probably like 20 now.
Doesn't say it here.
Cole's mouth bothers me. It's like his mouth isn't big enough. Look at that next time.
All right. You know what? I mistakenly said when I finished season 1 and I started season 2, Cole gained a lot of weight between season 1 and season 2.
Yeah, he did.
I was like,
What?
one of my
His
boys was sitting next to me. They're like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I really shouldn't be commenting on that stuff, but it just hit me."
his
He's
it had
probably
to do with
stress eating.
having a baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because his wife was having his girlfriend was having a
He's
baby.
having a baby. Yeah,
But his
he was
mouth
stress
doesn't
eating.
open up far enough. It's like this.
Yeah.
And Jesse, now I remember Tamara talking about how they all went to Texas to get teeth. Did you hear that?
Yes. Yeah. Smile, Texas.
And I
That's
was
the name of the
looking, I'm
place.
like,
Yeah.
I said, I wonder if he went to Texas to get those teeth. Jesse, your teeth are too big for your face.
He did not because they were on Watch What
Last
Happens
year.
Live. No, this year with Tamara. Steven was on with Tamara, and Jesse was in the audience, and Eddie was in the audience, and Andy was talking about the boys and said, "Are these your God-given teeth?" And they're like, "Yes." And Tamara's like, "No, Smile, Texas."
There's
And
no way those are Jesse's teeth.
those are their teeth. Those are their real
I got to
teeth.
go rewatch that.
Yeah, it
You
was
know
on
what?
Watch What Happens Live.
It might be their teeth are just bad veneers.
I don't know. I don't have a problem with Smile.
Look, you're not going to be able to look at a smile now without thinking about me. It's
All
too
right.
big. He's adorable. Jesse's the cutest brother.
I think Steven and Jesse I think they're both cute.
Steven doesn't do it for me. First off,
Jesse,
I don't like the pumped up muscle guy.
the father is sad to be acting this way at his age. It's just sad to
It's
watch.
pathetic. It really
It's
is.
sad to watch and to watch him drag his boys to do it with him, you
Oh my
know?
God. Last year was like one embarrassing episode after another.
I mean, the Nashville trip and
Oh,
making them keep going there. I mean, that's what's happening this next episode, right? They're all going to Nashville.
yeah. And every one of the boys was in a relationship.
Yeah.
And that's what the mother, I think I heard the mother say that she's worried that the boys don't have a good role model to have a good relationship, you know? You need to
Yeah,
see that.
it was nice that we got to meet Steve's brother, who seems like a nice guy,
Yeah.
right?
And
I
did you
liked that.
notice he hadn't talked to his sister-in-law in what she say, like 4
Since the
years?
divorce. Yeah, since the divorce.
That was sad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's hard. Like, you have a I don't know. I mean, I'm not divorced. I don't really know very many people that are divorced. Like, my parents were married 60 years. My husband's parents are married 69 years or 70 years. I don't even know. They're in their 90s. So I don't know. I can't imagine losing. I mean, they were married for so many years, and to lose the other half of the family.
Well, like I said, my brother and sister-in-law have been separated for quite a while, but she's still my sister-in-law. I still treat her exactly like I did before.
Well, that's good.
And
That's good.
my brother is fine with it. He wouldn't expect anything different, you know. Just because they didn't work out, it doesn't mean, you know.
Right. I think that's how it should be. I really think that's how it should be, especially
Yeah.
if there's kids. Like the
But
nieces and nephews
yeah.
should still be the
If you
nieces and
did
nephews.
something bad, that's a different story. If you hurt, you know, then
Yeah.
it's different.
Well, she didn't do anything bad. What the heck did Christy do? You know?
Not a thing. What she
Right.
didn't do was beat the crap out of Galina. I would have.
I
I would have I would have ripped off my husband's arm and then beat her with it.
Gina. All right. So this is our little recap of the McBee Dynasty. We'll recap the next episode now that we gave you kind of a little recap. And
It's a great show. Everybody, you need to tune in and go back and watch it from episode 1, season 1.
yeah, definitely watch it. I mean, the dynamics are crazy in the family. And think about what I said. I do believe that Galina is the mastermind. And
I
I need a
can't
season
wait.
3. I need a season 3. That's all I have to say. Like, we can't leave me hanging here. I need a season 3.
Did we have to wait a whole year for season 2?
I have
I
no
don't
idea
think
because I
so.
never watched it. I never watched it before until a couple weeks ago. I don't know.
I don't think that we had to wait. I think they got it back in less than a year. I got to look this up, see if it's on.
I don't know, but I'm very much enjoying this show. I actually look forward to it. And there's not that, I mean, I did look forward to the Housewives, but sometimes I get sick of them because they fight over the same stupid stuff. This is new stuff for me. Like, I've not experienced
Yeah.
this in any of my other, reality shows. Like, I like this. I'm here
And they
for
have
it.
cowboy hats on.
And they have cowboy hats and cowboy boots.
It's like Yellowstone combined with Real Housewives.
Yes, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So until next time, thank you for watching and listening.
Thank
Please
you, everyone.
subscribe. Bye.
Bye.